Hello everyone, let's just quickly start learning dental material. I am Dr. Riddhi Lalan, author of Dental Material Mind Maps book and a prosthodontist who's going to make dental material fun and easy to learn. I hope you all remember what we had discussed in the last class about the various ideal properties of dental material. Today we'll be actually looking into the properties that are exhibited by dental material. So to broadly classify, they are divided into mechanical properties, physical properties, chemical properties, thermal properties, electrical properties, optical properties, biological properties, rheological properties, and the last being the surface properties. And today we'll be learning about the mechanical properties in detail. Okay? What exactly is meant by mechanical property? So whenever a dental material is going to be subjected to stress or pressure, it's actually going to show various changes. Now that can either be deformation or bending. There can be crack that can initiate, or it can also fracture depending on the type of load. Various factors, okay, how it is going to respond will depend on various factors. The first thing would be the load or the stressing rate that is being subjected onto the specimen, the size, shape, and the surface texture of the specimen, the number of cycles that are being subjected onto the specimen, and the environment. So by that, I want you to know that the oral cavity will always have saliva. It will always be in contact with electrolytes. Now, if at all this is exactly mimicked, the environment is going to be different, or it can also be a dry environment in which the specimen is being subjected. So to remember what you can actually do, you can remember this mnemonic by 4S, N, and E. S standing for stressing rate, shape, size, surface texture, number of cycles, and environment. Let's talk about stress. So we know and we have been learning that stress actually means force upon area. We have learned this, right? Stress is denoted by a formula which is known as force upon area. It is the internal resistance to the external applied load. Now, depending on which type of load is being applied, it can be divided into three broad types. First is the tensile stress, the compressive stress, and the shear stress. So, first thing that's very easy to remember would be the compressive stress. Okay, if you can see this figure, it means when two forces are towards each other, it's going to exhibit compressive stress. So here, what you need to remember is towards, meaning compressive stress. Then when we talk about stresses that are being pulled apart, away. So it is the force that goes away, and it is termed as the tensile stress. And now we talk about the third type, that is the shear. So what is going to happen in the shear load? That it's going to actually twist. And that's actually the shear stress. Where do you think the shear stress would be used in dentistry? Yes, when actually the ortho wires are being twisted, correct? What happens? You twist it in the opposite direction. So this is known as the shear stress. Now we'll talk about the next thing, that is the strain. So let's discuss strain. Remember, whenever a dental material would be subjected to the stress, it's going to actually show change in its original length. So here we can remember this formula by change in length per original measurement. This is one of the classic formulas for remembering the strain. Now, whenever there is going to be elongation, the length is going to be increased. So the change is going to be positive. For elongation, it's going to be positive. Similarly, for compression, because there's going to be shortening, it's going to be negative. Now, there can be three types of strain again. Elastic, as the name suggests, whenever the force is removed, it gets back to its original shape. So that would be the elastic strain. So we can say that it has not yet gone into fracture. It actually reverted back to its original thing. But plastic, on the other hand, would have irreversible change. So what's going to happen? It will not be able to come back to its original shape or the original length. And also at times there can be combination of both strains acting onto a dental material. So it will act elastic under certain load, but over more, what can happen? It will start acting plastic. Now we actually have to learn about a very important topic, which is the stress strain graph. It is one of the most commonly asked question. You can learn about it in the next video, but before that, let's just revise this what we have just studied. So let's just solve this MCQ, okay? A rectangular bar of dental material is fixed at one end. So it's fixed at an end and the force is applied parallel to its long axis. Okay, tending to elongate the bar. So now we just learned about the two facts. First is it's fixed at a point and it's being elongated. So it means that the stress that is generated has led to positive change. So positive change means that the answer is tensile. Here you need not use any other method to eliminate the wrong answer. You can directly answer the right thing. Moving on to the next part, which is the flashcard. What is exactly meant by the plastic strain? So as we just learned about this, plastic strain means that it is the irreversible kind of change wherein the material actually goes permanent deformation and cannot revert back to its original position. So to solve more MCQs and flashcards, I would want all of you to go back to the app. You have various topics, so you can learn about the mind map, about the notes, videos, flashcards, and MCQs. Read about the mind map first, go through all of them, solve this, and let me know what is your score in the comment box. And to know more video and also to learn about the stress strain graph, you need to start watching next video. Please like, share, and subscribe so that we can come up with more interesting topic. Have a great day.